Thank you for allowing me to join your celebration. It is a privilege to talk with student leaders who have a much longer trajectory ahead than I. I may not be here to witness much of the change that you will lead, but I'm excited to share a few ideas that might help to energize your journey. My recollection of the many speeches like this that I have heard is that they are usually filled with advice about how you should work hard, do good, be like me. I didn't retain a lot from those speeches, so I'm going to take a different path. This evening, I bring you greetings from my people, old white men. We come in peace, not because it is our nature to be peaceful, but because some of us have come to realize just how much we need you. We need your new ideas on our problems. It's time to move from speeches to action. Your energy, your insight, and your ideas will help us take action against the challenges of our businesses, our communities, and our world. We need your diversity. Some of us, the old white men, have come to realize that the true competition is not for the next contract, the next project, or the next customer. The true competition is for the next generation of talent. We need your help to create teams and workplaces that bring all the talent and all of the ideas to the table. We need your learning. Your command of the tools for communication and innovation will help us move at the speed of change and opportunity that the future demands. Enterprises and institutions that cannot manage in the internet world will not have a future. And we need your courage and leadership. Not to work hard, do good, be like me, not to come down to the old white men's level of thinking about success and social responsibility. Rather, we need for you to make your voices heard to bring us to a higher level of thinking and action. With your help, we can create a vibrant community where every citizen has both the opportunity and the motivation to create value. Here is my challenge to you. Be strict in your measurements of the old white men who are mostly in charge. Many of us have learned some things and are saying the right words about our learnings, but you have the right to expect action from your leaders, your teachers, and your employers. You have the right to have real expectations of us and to measure us by our actions. If we say we are committed to diversity, have we actually worked to understand implicit bias in our own lives? If we say we want change, are we investing to cause the change we want, setting real goals and measuring results, not just repeating our good intentions? If we say we want to hear your voice and value your ideas, are we making the effort to meet you where you are, or are we standing still and expecting you to come to us? If we say we will support your growth, are we willing to allow and support a path different from the path we took? Or are we still expecting everyone to work hard, do good, and be like me? If we say we support an organization-wide commitment to diversity and inclusion, does that commitment show up in our expectations of and the reward system for the mostly white, mostly male middle managers who control the support and promotion of new hires? Honestly, I have observed a lot more talk than action from my fellow business leaders. There's no shortage of good, strong words, but there is a real gap between all that intellect and articulation and the realities of the world you will experience. Part of that gap is the result of a lack of education about the impact of implicit bias. Part of that gap is the hard fact that nothing gets in the way of needed change like success, and the current system has supported the leader's success. And a big part of that gap has to do with our own pride. We old white men bask in our belief that we have earned our prosperity, that we started work earlier, stayed at work longer, worked harder and sometimes smarter, and so deserve having more than others. Not long ago, I made a trip to rural Guatemala with a wonderful group of leaders from the 10,000 Villages organization. I went with all my cultural misconceptions firmly in place. In Guatemala, I saw 5-year-old children carrying one concrete block at a time. I saw 80-year-old women carrying bundles of stove wood. They started work earlier than me, they stayed at work longer than me, and they certainly put my level of effort to shame. Yet no matter how long or how hard those folks work, they can never break free of the economic apartheid that controls them. I came back to the U.S., and I hope I come here tonight with a new understanding of the challenges of structural racism, with a new appreciation for the level of effort it takes to be a single mother working 2 minimum wage jobs and getting around on public transportation, and with a new level of humility for the realities of my advantages. The fact is, to have been born in my time, in my place, of my race, a male, and with a mother who would not accept my failure, is a blessing that is not afforded to many of my fellow human beings. We old white men don't have to be ashamed of our advantages, but you should expect us to be a little more supportive and understanding of the realities for those who didn't land in a lucky time and place. So don't worry too much about my expectations for you. Put all your attention and energy into raising your expectations for lucky people like me. I plan to stick around long enough to get a glimpse of the better future you will help create. I end with a few lines from Mr. Kipling, who often gets a bad rap for having been born in his time and place. These lines deserve reflection. The toad beneath the harrow knows exactly where each tooth point goes. The butterfly upon the road preaches contentment to the toad. Do not be content. Set your sights high and measure your leaders, your teachers, and your employers by your expectations, not by their past success. Thank you for including me in your celebration. Congratulations on what you have accomplished to date, and thank you for what you will accomplish in the future. My expectations for you are sky high.